The news continues in Abuja, where the annual conference of the Chartered Institute of Directors entered its second day. Conversations are centered on ensuring leadership continuity and long-term organizational growth. Under the theme, Leadership That Lasts, embedding succession planning into board strategy, experts, directors, and policymakers are emphasizing the need for effective succession planning to sustain good governance and business stability. The session highlights how forward-looking board strategies can strengthen institutions, preserve corporate values, and prepare the next generation of leaders for sustainable impact. Still on the conference, we're being joined now by Ayo, who is the chairman of the Institute's Nigeria Young Directors Forum. Thank you, Mr. Ayo, for joining us. Now, as the chair of the Young Directors Forum, how are you helping to shape the next generation of board leaders who can carry forward the principles of leadership that lasts?
Thank you very much for having me here. The Young Directors Forum of the Chartered Institute of Directors, we're not just preparing young leaders for boardroom or boardroom seats, but we are also teaching them a number of things which are premised on numbers. The first thing is competence with character. So it is not just sufficient for a young director to have an understanding of ESG or digital disruption, but to have that knowledge, to be grounded in that knowledge and be able to apply ethical governance in their decision making in all that they do to ensure that whatever decision that is being made is. So with one series of master classes, there's the Young Directors Governance 4 modules that our young directors get to go through over a period of 2 to 3 years. We also have the Courageous Mentorship Program. Directors are paired with seasoned directors who don't only teach them the rules, but are able to challenge them to think outside the box, to challenge status quo, to think about the long-lasting impact of their decisions.
Mr. Ayo, I'd like to ask you, that's because we're pressed for time. I just want to move on to the next question real quick, because I really need you to answer this one. What do you see as the biggest barriers that young directors face, especially when it comes to earning trust and visibility in succession pipelines within established organizations?
Okay, I think that with that, there's the leadership paradox. On the one hand, we hear people say, young directors do not have board experience. And you want people with board experience to be able to give them board seats. So how do they have this boardroom experience? And I think that that is the biggest barrier. Another thing is that intentional sponsorship. Young directors are looking for leaders, senior seasoned, who can speak to them, and speak about them, who can speak for them in boardrooms where decisions are made, giving them an opportunity to showcase themselves, giving them an opportunity to perform at the boardroom. So that is a big challenge that young directors have been facing. The opportunity to showcase, the opportunity to serve in boardrooms, simply they are young or they are inexperienced in boardroom.
Now, how can young directors, position themselves to contribute meaningfully to the board strategy while still learning from, more seasoned leaders?
I think one of the things to do is to go with an attitude of learning, to have an aptitude for learning, to be able to observe, with the intent of improving the organization, taking a deep dive, trying to understand what is happening within the company before you can begin suggestions or solutions to solving problems. I think young directors, because of the fact that most of them are tech-savvy, they should be the eye of the board when it comes to monitoring trends within the industry. You know, Gen Z, consumer trends, AI, be it cybersecurity, or things that are trending that will be very helpful and instruct helping the board and helping the board to respond to emerging changes to their industry.
Now, of course, we know there is day 2 of the conference, but tell me, from your engagement at this conference, what key lessons, or would I say strategies, do you believe young leaders should adopt to ensure that, you know, they are not just successors, but successors who sustain impact?
So it's been an impactful 2 days. It's been about sustainability, succession planning, and for us as young directors who are successors, it's important that we're able to transition, you know, culture and be able to prepare it to take on future opportunities, to also be able to provide a platform where we're learning from seasoned leaders and we're able to collaborate with our peers, and also create a platform where those after us can learn and thrive. So in terms of succession planning, young directors also need to think about multi-generational evolution, where you've taken the knowledge from the seasoned leaders, you're able to add value to it while working with talents within the organization for those after you to be able to thrive and lead the organization into the foreseeable future. It's also instructive to ensure that decisions are data-driven, that as young directors bring top issues to the board, they are able to have data to support, you know, or justify whatever position they are pushing forward to the board.
I must say a big thank you to you, of course, Mr. Ayo, for having this conversation with us.
Thank you very much.